What if the very thing you're chasing, happiness, is actually what's making you miserable? Everywhere you turn, from social media to self-help books, the message is the same. Be happy, stay positive, always look on the bright side. But what if I told you that constantly chasing happiness is like chasing a shadow? The more you run after it, the further away it gets. Could it be that the pursuit of happiness is what's holding us back from actually feeling it? Today, we're diving into the surprising truth behind the dark side of happiness. You're scrolling through Instagram, and there it is, another perfect vacation photo, another milestone celebrated, another smiling face. And it's not just one person, it's everyone. You start to wonder, why am I not as happy as them? But here's the kicker. The harder we try to be happy, the more elusive happiness becomes. It's like trying to hold water in your hands. The tighter you squeeze, the more it slips through your fingers. This isn't just a theory. Psychologists have studied this paradox for years, and the findings are clear. When we make happiness our primary goal, we're often setting ourselves up for failure. But why? Why does the relentless pursuit of happiness often leave us feeling? Well, the opposite. That's the real question we're digging into today. Let's talk about the hedonic treadmill. It's a psychological concept that explains why, no matter how much we achieve, we always seem to want more. Here's how it works. You finally get that promotion at work. You buy the house you've always dreamed of, or you book that once-in-a-lifetime vacation. For a moment, you feel a rush of joy, a burst of excitement. But it doesn't last. Before you know it, that feeling fades, and you're back where you started, wanting more, needing something bigger, better, newer to feel that same joy again. It's like being on a treadmill, running and running, but never really getting anywhere. The more pleasure we experience, the faster we adapt to it. It becomes the new normal, and suddenly, we need even more to feel the same high. No matter how hard we try, that elusive sense of lasting happiness keeps slipping away. But that's only part of the problem. Enter ironic process theory, a concept that might just explain why trying so hard to be happy makes us feel less happy. It's like this. The more you try to focus on happiness, the more you notice when you're not happy. It's as if the act of chasing happiness highlights the moments when you aren't feeling it. Think of it like this. If I tell you, don't think of a pink elephant, what's the first thing that pops into your mind? Yep, a pink elephant. The more we focus on happiness, the more aware we become of its absence. And that's when things start to go downhill. By obsessively chasing happiness, we end up making ourselves more conscious of how far away it really feels. And instead of bringing us closer to joy, it drives us further into frustration and ultimately misery. Now let's talk about something we all know too well: social media. It's everywhere, constantly reminding us how happy we should be. You log onto Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok, and what do you see? People living their best lives, perfect vacations, new milestones, everything captured with a smile. But here's the truth. This isn't real life. What you're seeing is a curated version of reality. Highlight reels designed to show only the best moments, leaving out the messy, difficult parts. This is where social comparison theory comes in. Whether we like it or not, we measure ourselves against others. When you see that perfect Instagram post, you're not just observing, it's a subconscious comparison. You might ask yourself, why don't I have that? Why am I not as happy as them? What's wrong with me? And this is where the danger lies. The more we compare, the more we feel like we're falling short. What's worse, there's a phenomenon known as toxic positivity, the societal pressure to always be positive, no matter what. You've probably heard it, just stay positive, or look on the bright side. It sounds harmless, but it can be dangerous. When we're constantly told to stay positive, it can make us feel guilty for experiencing natural, negative emotions like sadness, anger, or frustration. It's as if we're not allowed to feel anything but happiness, and that's simply not realistic. The problem is, when we suppress those emotions, When we're told to just be happy, we invalidate our own feelings. And over time, this leads to a deeper sense of dissatisfaction because we're denying ourselves the full range of human emotion. Instead of embracing the ups and downs, we're stuck in this cycle of chasing an ideal that doesn't actually exist. Let's face it, life isn't just about happiness. There's sadness, frustration, anxiety, and moments where things don't go as planned. And that's okay. In fact, embracing negative emotions is a crucial part of being human. This brings us to a key concept: eudaimonic versus hedonic happiness. Hedonic happiness is all about pleasure, chasing what feels good and avoiding what doesn't. But eudaimonic happiness is different. It's about finding meaning in life, even in hardship. It's about recognizing that struggles and challenges are part of personal growth. Here's the problem with the constant pursuit of hedonic happiness. We deny ourselves the opportunity to experience the full range of emotions. Research shows that people who accept and process negative emotions rather than suppressing them are often healthier mentally. This is at the core of acceptance and commitment therapy, ACT, which emphasizes psychological flexibility. It teaches us that we can't avoid pain, but we can choose how we respond to it. Maslow's hierarchy of needs also comes into play here. At the top of this hierarchy is self-actualization, which isn't about feeling happy all the time. It's about realizing our full potential and accepting the complexity of life, the good and the bad. True happiness comes not from avoiding difficulties, but from growing through them. So, what's the takeaway? It's okay to feel sadness, anger, or frustration. These emotions aren't signs that you've failed. They're part of the human experience. In fact, embracing them is what leads to genuine fulfillment. So, where does that leave us? The pursuit of happiness, when taken to an extreme, can lead us down a path of dissatisfaction. It's not about constantly feeling good. Real happiness comes from experiencing and embracing the full spectrum of emotions: joy, sadness, frustration, and growth. Instead of chasing an idealized version of happiness, we should focus on finding meaning and fulfillment, even in life's challenges. Happiness isn't the absence of struggle. It's the ability to move through those struggles with resilience, acceptance, and understanding. What do you think? Is the constant pursuit of happiness doing more harm than good? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to hit subscribe for more deep dives into the mind and the human experience. Let's explore life together with all its ups and downs.